You're watching Telecom TV from IoT Solutions World Congress event in Barcelona. And I'm joined now by Fred Yentz, who is CEO of Telit IoT Platforms. Fred, really good to see you on Telecom TV again. How is Telit positioning itself to help its enterprise customers with their IoT requirements?
We address the IoT market as an end-to-end enablement company. So from hardware, radio technology, location technology, to a global MVNO to allow you to connect the asset once it's instrumented, and then a platform over the top to make sure you can do something of value with that information, and then integration into different IT systems around the landscape, right? The SAPs and the Watsons of the world. So end-to-end enablement is where we play.
And why the focus on the industrial IoT?
It's a great observation. So when we think about IoT, I always tell people, you've got to figure out how to make money, save money, or stay compliant. Industrial IoT tends to be full of pretty high value assets, or they're assets that are making something of high value. So when the cost or loss of downtime is high, when the assets under monitoring is high, then there's a lot of value in terms of what you can save and make a business case. So many people get confused on where to start with IoT, and you can make a business case quick using industrial.
Are we at a stage now where enterprise customers are not just talking about IoT, but actively engaged in purchasing solutions?
So that, again, I think this week is, I don't want to say this week is a turning point, but another great signal from the market that we're getting there. So just today, we're here at in Barcelona at the event. I spoke with Karthik from Tech Mahindra on Tuesday afternoon. A big audience, 300-400 people, and we asked who here is a supplier of IoT. Lots of hands raised, and then followed up with who's a buyer of IoT, and more than enough hands raised to make this an interesting event. I may be a quarter of the people in the audience, maybe a little more. And the point there is these guys are now desperately seeking a way to deploy. If we look in the rearview mirror, we've had many years of information gathering, interest. Certain great segments have adopted it, like telematics, again, because there was a good return on investment. But the general enterprise user or the general OEM maker of things is now feeling the pressure to implement IoT. And the idea of technology being there, that's behind us. The value I think that Telit brings today, and our partners like Tech Mahindra and others in our partner program, we bring IoT know-how. And that's the key. It's putting it together and creating business outcomes and value.
You mentioned your platform there. When we talk about IoT, we have that magic word, the ecosystem. The ecosystem's vast. How important is it to the success of IoT?
Again, as an enablement company, we really rely on our IT partners, like our relationship with SAP and others, who are in there talking to the decision makers inside of enterprises to bring value. IoT is a method to get data and information. The value creation is usually done at the higher level in the enterprise. They've got to consume that and create objectives and business decisions. So our partners tend to be folks selling the turnkey solutions at the top end, which we don't do, and quite frankly, no IoT company does that. If they do, then they're probably not really an IoT company. So there's a gap there. So we can get that information from an asset and move it to a data model, and then we rely on our partners to deploy, manage, and create value for our customers.
Fred, thank you very much indeed.